All right, welcome back. Cash and Tickets is back. We've had a big Merry Christmas. I hope everyone else has had a big Merry Christmas. Looking forward to a happy New Year. So we're back here to help it even bring it in a little brighter.
Yeah,
A little extra ticket money coming in.
yeah, need it.
So yeah, Poolside Bets welcomes you into another edition of Cash and Tickets. I'm Franklin. That's Paul. We're here on December the 28th. 3 days past Christmas, and you will see this on the 29th, sometime in the morning, hopefully. So we're watching a little football tonight. We got bowl games coming up this weekend. We got NFL coming down to the last 2 weeks. A lot of teams jostling for those last couple of playoff spots in both leagues. So it ought to be a lot of fun heading to the NFL playoffs. And we're going to figure out another way to transition after the football season is over, but we'll figure something out. We'll talk about something interesting, hopefully. No matter if it's, probably don't have a lot of golf fans out there, Paul, but, we do like the golf. We like to talk about it. But
Yeah,
we'll be getting into the middle of the NCAA. We're already starting conference play today. The SEC
yeah.
started
Just,
conference
just
play.
watch
So
the Rebels go down.
yep. So we're getting dialed in for all that. So anyway, welcome into another edition, and we're gonna get you started probably with some bowl games. I don't know if we want to do we got much of a recap from last week other than
No, I
the
went.
Bengals and the 49ers covered. I liked them big. It didn't the Browns didn't do their job.
I went 5-1. I did pretty good.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Kid had a big weekend right over there, so pay attention to Paul every now and then. You may make, except for those what 4 or 5 weeks had there in the middle of football season, college football season.
Didn't do well.
But anyway, pair us up together, and you pick the right weekends. You can
Just
have
gotta, you gotta middle it.
yeah, you got it. You'll find some good picks in there. So you know what? We're gonna get started because we got a bowl game coming up tonight between the Red Raiders and the Rebels of Ole Miss. So we're gonna get this thing started so we can get away and watch that game. So let's dive right into it, Paul.
All right.
We'll start with any bowl games you got coming up between now and the weekend.
I'll go. You want me to do one? You do one.
Yeah, let's get started. We'll just start it rolling right now.
I got December 29th at 4:30. FSU takes on Oklahoma.
Yeah, they do.
I like Florida State minus the 9.5.
I like Florida State big there. They've been great. I think they've won their last stat I saw later today. The last 5 games, I think they won by an average of 20 something points.
Yeah,
It seems like
I think Jordan Travis kicks off his Heisman campaign.
going into next year.
Yeah, I think it. 'Cause that Oklahoma defense is not good.
No, it's not. And they've been better with Gabriel back at QB, but I just don't know if they have enough to keep up with Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State's 5-0 as a favorite this year, by the way.
Yeah. So rolling there for the Seminoles, and I think they rolled through that. He's done. Hey, props to Mike Norvell. He got that thing turned around. It wasn't looking pretty going into this year, and the early part of the season didn't look great, but yet got it turned around. They're rolling, so I like it.
I'm froze. I'm a cat.
Oh no,
I'm back.
and he's back, and he's this. We got us a bad. We got a glitchy phone over there, so we may have to change phones.
One day we'll tell you the truth about why this is the way it is, but
we'll try to get that fixed, worked out. Hopefully that stabilizes for us. So yeah, I'm looking at. I'm trying to scroll through here just to get the how these games are played. So yeah. So you kicked off with the Thursday game. You got Oklahoma, Florida State. I like Florida State there too. I should have had them on my list. But a game that night, the Alamo Bowl, featuring Texas and the Washington Huskies. Bijan Robinson is out for Texas in this game. And as good as Quinn Ewers looked early in the year, his last 4 games, he never eclipsed 197 passing yards. So I don't know why the line is Texas -3. I guess because they're actually in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo Dome.
yeah,
So Washington's traveling a little bit, but look, I love Washington and Michael Penix Jr. here, especially getting 3 points because
yeah.
that kid is played out of his mind all year long. And I would tell you the Washington coach's name, but I can't really pronounce it. I don't DeBuers. I don't know how
Yeah.
you. So I don't want to, but I did mess it up. I literally said I wasn't going to do it, and then I did it.
No, I have that game on my list also. I got them straight up. I'm going to take them.
Washington.
It's plus 140 this morning. When
yeah,
I was looking at
they're just. I think they're too strong offensively. I know, and they're not bad defensively. And Texas is really good defensively. Don't get me wrong, but Michael Penix Jr.'s had an incredible year for the Huskies, and I just think they want to close this thing out really well.
I think Ewers and Penix are going to have a shootout, but I don't think that Ewers he's not closed really good at the end of the year.
Well, that was why I had that stat. He hasn't eclipsed 197 yards his last 4 games, and with Robinson out, he doesn't have that that to fall back on. That's a big loss for Texas there. So yeah, I love Washington here, and probably if you're gonna take 3 points, you might as well take the money line, like you're saying.
It was plus 140. Look for that thing to probably come down.
It'll probably be plus 125 at kick, more than likely. So yeah, that's our Thursday play. So let's move on to Friday. My first game I had there. It's your turn. You're up.
On Friday I got the 1 o'clock game, the UCLA versus Pittsburgh.
Well, I do too. So let's talk about it.
I like UCLA minus the 5.5.
Do you?
Yep. A lot of players out for Pittsburgh due to injury and opt out. I don't know how they score the football here. They lost Slavis. He's out. They have another quarterback in there.
Yep.
I just don't see how they score here.
Yeah, the big running back, Abanaconda, or Abaniconda for Pitt. Is he still going to play?
Nah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know about the running back there. But yeah, you're right on the quarterback issue. I just had here that I don't know how Pitt keeps up. I don't know how much motivation UCLA has, but I don't know how much they need to cover 5.5 line there out in El Paso, Texas, against the Pittsburgh Panthers. Pittsburgh just kind of floundered all year. I don't know how they got the 8 wins. Just they were up and down so much, but yeah, 8-4. But yeah, I like the Bruins big here. I don't think they have any problems covering the 5.5. So I did have them on my list as well.
No, gotcha.
All right. So nothing. Yeah. So I did have the 2:30 game, Notre Dame, South Carolina. South Carolina finished strong. I get it. They beat Tennessee, put up 63 points on Tennessee. They beat Clemson. Those boys play hard for Shane Beamer.
They do.
And Marcus Freeman, though, he as much as hell as we gave Notre Dame earlier in the year, boy, he got them turned around. It was all defensively. They really started playing well defensively, and they shut teams down. I know they lost to Clemson, but they were in that game. If Notre Dame wants to play this game, I think they cover the 2 easily.
No,
I just don't know if South Carolina, no matter how hard they play, and South Carolina's ranked high. And here you go. You got the higher ranked team. Usually it's ranked against non-ranked, but the higher ranked team is actually the underdog here. Notre Dame, South Carolina's ranked 19. Notre Dame's 21.
I'm a cat again.
You're a cat again. Yeah, it's not working out with that phone. We're going to give him a new phone. So just bear with me. I'm just going to talk about that game, but we're going to try to get him a new phone. Just take that phone down. Oh, shit. It's dead. Well, that makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? Let's see if we can't get the kid back in there.
I got it on this, but I'll just shut the other thing down I was doing.
Yeah, sorry. Paul had something going on in his phone, and we didn't have a spare camera readily available. So we're going to try to get this thing remedied real quick. So just give us a second. I connected twice and went to camera 3 and 4. Now he's on camera 4. It's the wrong camera. It's
We got to start over.
Disconnect. We'll see if we can't get this thing going. Oh, man. We're going to give it a shot, I promise. While Paul's doing that, I'll talk a little bit about this game. Like I said, Notre Dame and USC, I don't think you can overlook what they did. And now it's on camera 3. It's like that other phone is still connected.
It's dead.
And it's dead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it.
This is ridiculous.
I had to start this thing over.
It's just not working out well for us. And we really apologize. But we're gonna get it going, I promise. Just hang in there with this. We're gonna keep moving along. I'm gonna kill both cameras, but you can still hear us talk. So just give us a second, okay? All right. So I'm gonna connect here, Paul. Hold on just a second before you pull that up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reconnect. All right, I'm back up. Now you give it a shot. Hopefully it'll connect you to the right camera. Yep. There, Paul's back in there. There we go. So there's your Gator Bowl breakdown between the Trojans and the Fighting Irish. I think the Fighting Irish can pull this off pretty easily. And like I said, if they want to play, I mean, that may not be a game that I play, but I like Notre Dame there. I think. And I'm not touching the Ohio-Wyoming game.
No,
the Arizona Bowl. I think Wyoming's pretty depleted. Is why Ohio is the favorite there. But I'm not going to touch that game. You got anything on the Orange Bowl?
No. The next is that the TCU game?
That's the Tennessee Clemson game, 7 o'clock Friday.
No,
nothing there.
No.
All right, I'll give you a little bit there. There's no Hooker. Obviously, everybody knows Hendon Hooker's out, torn ACL.
Yeah.
Also, Jalen Hyde opted out. So him and Hooker are both out for this game. You're gonna have, I don't know if he pronounces it now, Klubnik. I haven't heard it on playing for Tennessee, the new QB there, because Ukulele is out. He's in the portal.
I thought Klubnik played for Clemson.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He's playing for Clemson because DJ's in the portal.
Right.
Will Shipley, the guy they've kind of leaned on all year, the running back there for Clemson, he will play for Clemson. And this game is 4.5 Clemson. I don't know why. I just think that Josh Heupel's going to dial up something here that gets Tennessee this win. Mm-hmm. So I like Tennessee plus 4.5 here. Clemson, the season didn't go like they thought, even though they went 11-2, but they got shut out of college football playoff and they're not in there. So, well, I mean, how fitting is it that Tennessee and Clemson are in the Orange Bowl?
Yeah.
So who's going to wear white? Who's going to wear orange? I don't know. Maybe you bet on that. Find out who's going to wear the white uniforms. I'll take the team in white, probably.
Yeah. I saw where Ukulele went to Oregon State.
Oregon State. Okay. Well, I hate that for Oregon State because I don't think he's a very good QB at all.
Yeah,
and I like
him all year.
I like the Beavers. Yeah, they've been fun all year. So that kind of puts a damper on how I feel about them going into next year. So anyway, all right. So let's move on to Saturday, December 31st, New Year's Eve.
A big day.
Yeah, here we go. You got anything for the 11 o'clock game there?
No.
The Sugar Bowl. Nothing. Nothing. Bryce Young and Will Anderson will play for Bama. So they're going to be there. You got Deuce Vaughn for K-State, electric running back.
This screams like it's not enough points. Like it just when you initially look at it.
At 56?
Well, it's just the 6.5.
The 6.5.
Yeah. If you look at, but I'm that Kansas State football team and their coach will be very disciplined, and it's just going to be tough for Alabama to really. I mean, they can line up and run it on them, but
they can. But I think they can bring down Deuce Vaughn. He'll probably get some yardage. Obviously, he's a really good back. This line looks small to me. I like Bama.
That's why I don't like it.
I also like the over here, though. It's only 56 points. I like both teams to put up some points.
Yeah,
I see it like at some team in the 40 and the other in the 30s. Yeah. So maybe 30 to. Either way, it feels like over 56, and that was my last note here on this game was to look at the over. If it's 56, if it moves down, if it ticks down a point or two, I definitely like the over in that game.
Yeah, I don't. There's something weird about that 6.5. It just don't sit right with me. It should be like 10.
Because Bama hasn't really stopped teams from scoring this year like you thought they would.
Yeah, I just don't. Something's fishy with that whole deal.
All right, we'll move us along to your next game.
I didn't have anything on the Iowa-Kentucky game, but I do have a play for TCU, Michigan.
Yeah, we got to talk about the two playoff games, the Fiesta and the Peach. So let's get into the Fiesta Bowl, TCU, Michigan.
Yeah, I like TCU plus the 7.5. They lost their last game, I get, but if you watch that game, that team, they left it on the field.
If you're not a fan of Max Duggan at this point, then you don't really like football. That kid plays with every ounce of heart he's got, every ounce of ability he's got, he lays it all on the field.
And part of this is like a heart play for me. It's just because I like TCU. But Blake Corum, the all-world running back from Michigan, is out. Yep. He's not playing. Look for TCU to make a. I mean, they may beat Michigan. I know, but I'm going to take the Horned Frogs plus a 7.5 here.
Okay. And I get it, and I don't know why. I think I got a soft spot for Jim here, just because he coached my boys, took them to a Super Bowl, and I know we lost the Super Bowl, but man, they've just looked good all year in the second half. No matter what happens in the first half, I think Max and TCU is going to keep this thing close and take it into the third quarter. But the backup running back there, Donovan Edwards, who filled in for Corum against Ohio State, ran for 216 yards against OSU in that Big Ten championship game. And McCarthy made the plays when he needed to. Now, TCU's a different animal. OSU did not look. That game just looked awful for them. I don't know if that's who they were or what. It's hard for me to draw anything from Michigan on that game because I just don't know. But that Michigan defense is legit. I've watched them all year, and I just think they wear down TCU as the game gets longer. Does that make sense?
I get it.
I feel like a score in the fourth quarter puts this at 10, and TCU just can't move the ball on that Michigan defense late, midway through the third quarter and into the fourth quarters. I like Michigan to get a late touchdown that makes it 13 points, and then that's the game. That's kind of where I am at
Sports line's got it 38-26, which would be 12.
Yeah. So. And that's kind of where I am. But you've been really good in bowl games up to this point. So don't listen to me. I mean, I've hit a few bowl games, and Paul and I both have been on a few of them that we liked. And you got to pick them. Don't bet every bowl game. They're not all for betting.
No, like I said, it's kind of a hard play. But there's something that TCU team won't quit.
Hey, they won me over the last few games of the season, and that even though they lost that Big 12 title game, you couldn't help but root for them late in that game. I mean, it was cool to see Kansas State win, I guess, but man, that kid did everything he could do. I mean, and I hated the call. Would they go for 2, right? And that's what ended the game, or something like that. Like I can't remember. Didn't they go for 2?
They had to go for 2. I think they were down 8.
No, they went into overtime. Remember, they went for 2 to go up. It was something crazy like that. Because you didn't like it. You were hoping they'd tie the game up because if they tie it up, they hit the over. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. Gross. So we're on the opposite sides of TCU and Michigan there. It ought to be a fun game. The Horned Frogs have been really good all year. And, of course, Michigan's 13-0. They have not been beaten. But ought to be a good game there. And then the 7 o'clock game, Ohio State Buckeyes, who somebody had to get the 4th spot, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You could have thrown 4 or 5 teams in that mix for the 4th spot, and I don't think it really mattered. They take on the Georgia Bulldogs, and this line's only 6.5. Paul, it seems like some love for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
My notes say Georgia minus 6.5, and it says nothing past that.
But I think you're right. I
don't need a reason.
No, I mean, you saw what Michigan's defense did to Ohio State, right? What do you think Georgia's going to do to Ohio State? That's a whole different ball of wax you're dealing with there when you talk about the Georgia defense. And as much as I don't think he's a really good quarterback, Stetson Bennett does what needs to be done when it needs to be done. I mean,
when their star wide receiver saw who they were playing and checked the frick out, he's like,
no. Their best receiver, Ohio State's best receiver, Jackson Smith, opted out. That made a big difference there. Marvin Harrison Jr., though, is really, really good for Ohio State.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that the kid there, what's the quarterback? I can't even remember the quarterback's name.
C.J. Stroud?
Stroud.
No.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get it done against this Georgia defense. So, Georgia's 6.5. I'm with you there.
They got it 34-27. There's no way on planet Earth that they scored 27 points against
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of love for Ohio State. I get it. They've gotten in before and done really well in the playoffs. I don't see it against this Georgia team. Remember, I liked Michigan last year going against Georgia. Remember? Yeah. And we saw how well that worked out.
This is silly. I don't understand.
What are you seeing over there? I don't know how Ohio State scores 27.
There's no they're basically basing their score on the fact that Ohio State has talent on their roster.
Yeah, but what
I mean, they're playing like Georgia don't have 5 stars serving Gatorade during the game.
Yeah, all up and down the lineup.
Yeah, give me Georgia shit. I might go get them right now.
Yeah, I love that 6.5. You can get them under a touchdown. That's a really good line. Yeah. All right, so we've been through the playoff games with Monday, January 2nd. Got anything there, Paul, past the playoff games?
No, I'm really excited about that Tulane USC game because I think it's gonna be fun to watch.
Oh, I'm all over that. I love Tulane. That's the other game I had, the Cotton Bowl. Tulane's going to be fired up, and we saw what Utah did against USC when they hit them hard, hit them in the mouth. There's not a lot of toughness there that I see. And the Trojans tackling, I don't think was taught there.
Yeah. And the Tulane defense pretty good.
And the Tulane defense is pretty good. That's what I think they're going to hit them hard, hit them in the mouth, and I like Tulane to get this win. I mean, and I think this is, how sometimes you just pull for a team. Like I said, you like TCU. Yeah. I just love the green wave here. I think Willie Fritz and the guys get it done here.
The other game I was looking at, too, and I almost put it on my list, but then I backed off of it, is the LSU game. Purdue, you don't know what they're going to bring.
Dude, I couldn't. You know why I can't? Yeah. I couldn't do it because Purdue's on the list I tried 4 times this year.
It's right here. It says 14.5. I don't know if LSU cares about this game.
I don't either.
But Purdue's probably going to limp into this thing and not have an identity. Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. There's too much unknown in that game, so be careful. I wouldn't bet it.
And also like Brian Kelly to keep this team motivated. So does that make sense? Like he's a really good coach. I don't know. And I had nothing on Penn State, Utah. I can't figure Utah out, and I don't know what the hell Penn State is at 10-2. I still don't know what they are. If they're any good at all. Neither one of these teams should be ranked 11-8. I mean, the records say that they should be, but I just don't know.
Yeah, those are my 4 college plays. I got 2 NFL plays, but
I had a whole other sheet with my NFL, and I have lost it somehow. So this has
been one of our better shows.
Hadn't it? So I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna bring up the schedule here. I do know a couple of my plays, and probably not gonna be likable to a lot of people, but we're gonna work through it. My first game is I'm going right back to the well, my boys. They're on the road. They're going to Las Vegas. But they're still playing for positioning.
Boy, what a shit show that thing's become.
Oakland just benched Derek Carr. It's going to be Jarrett Stidham, and all blessings and prayers to Jarrett Stidham because Nick Bosa is coming to put you in the ground. He wants to he's still motivated. He wants to catch that sack record. There's no way he's going to get it with 2 games left. But he's at 17.5, and I think he's solidified Defensive Player of the Year. And if he doesn't get it, I mean, whatever. I mean, okay, you just like the Cowboys guy better. I don't know, but he's the best disruptor in the NFL on the defensive line that there is this year. I'm not saying he always has been, but this year he's been the best guy, best defensive end in the league this year.
I want to say something about this Derek Carr deal. Whether they want it, they come out today that not only is he benched, he's not even going to be allowed to practice.
No, yeah.
So something's happened. Yeah, and to have this happen after that game he played against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's got a pretty good defense. But if you watch that game, it was colder than shit.
Oh my God, it was brutal. It looked brutal.
If they're gonna base his performance off that game in that condition, they didn't want him anyway.
And weren't the Raiders winning? Yeah, they were winning.
Yeah, they won. They were leading the whole game.
And Steelers went and got the late touchdown. So I don't know how you put that on Derek Carr.
Yeah, but don't feel bad for Derek Carr. He's made a ton of money. He's okay. But I think that thing's over in Las Vegas. I don't know where they go
And I know
Devontae Adams, because I think Devontae Adams, part of him going there was because of Derek Carr.
Yeah, I do too.
So I don't know how they're going to work that out, but
we've seen Josh McDaniels. This is the second time as a head coach. We already saw it once in Denver. He's not a head coach. He's got too much on his plate. He can't as offensive coordinator. Okay, but he just can't do it as a head coach. And I'm banking on that. You don't typically lay double digits in the NFL, but I love the 49ers here to get it done because they're still playing for positioning. They need the Vikings to lose. I'm taking the 49ers minus the 10.
I don't blame it one, but I don't blame you.
All right, you got a pick there?
Not in that game, but
the NFL.
Yeah, I got one. Hold on. I'm going to take the Eagles minus 6.5. They're hosting the Saints. It's a bounce back game for them. They just lost a heartbreaker to Dallas. I think they get right on this thing because you're taking a dome team, you put them in Lincoln Financial. It's going to be cold. They're going to be mean. They're going to throw batteries at people and the whole bit. But I think they're going to beat the shit out of the Saints.
Man, I thought the same thing with the Saints going to play the Browns. The Browns, they let me down.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that. The Saints got they didn't give up a point in the second half to the Browns.
Yeah,
Gardner Minshew looked good against the Cowboys. I mean, he's pretty. I mean, to put 34 points on a team that people think has a really good defense in the Cowboys.
He won me some money in DraftKings. I ain't gonna lie.
So I don't hate that pick. I'm going back to the team here I had last Thursday night. This is Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to play a really feisty team of late in the Houston Texans.
Ain't they?
But Jacksonville is still in position, I think. I don't think those last couple of playoff spots have been decided in the AFC. They're sitting at 7-8. They could get to 8-8 with a win. And it's only 4.5 because I think the odds makers have gotten wind of how the Texans have played of late.
No.
But I still like the way Trevor Lawrence has played lately, the way that team has played, the way the defense has played. I don't mind laying the 4.5 here on the road with the Jacksonville Jaguars in a dome where they don't have to worry about the weather. No. That's right. NRG is in a Houston.
Yeah, we'll see it here in about an hour.
That's right. So I like the Jaguars there against the Texans in Houston.
Yeah, I don't know if this game means anything for Jacksonville or not because I think all they have to do is beat Tennessee next week and
they can win the division, right?
Yeah, so I don't think just look at the injury report close to game time on that one.
But here's the thing: if they, the Titans, they play the Cowboys. Yeah, and so a win and a Titans loss, I think, seals it up. So I think they're going to go out there and try to win the game. Because the Titans and the Jags are both 7-8, right?
Yeah, I don't think it. I think it's just going to come down to that game.
But if the Titans lose, they're 7-9. If the Jags win, they're 8-8. So they'll have a game lead on the Titans
in that division.
In the division, going into the last game.
Yeah, I heard some things today about Tennessee not playing all their players against Dallas because they're just saving everybody for the the Jacksonville matchup.
Yeah, but then they would have to beat them. They'd still have to beat Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think that's the thought there. It's just gear up for one game.
But but why not just go win the game? No, if you're Jacksonville, right?
Yeah,
take a leg up going into that last game.
Yeah, I got you. What's my other game? I like the Giants -6. This team is kind of finding itself. They've outplayed their roster. In my opinion.
That coach has done a wonderful job there.
Yeah, they took the Vikings to the wire last week, and Lord knows I was watching that son of a bitch.
I mean, they lost on a 61-yard field goal. I mean, they came back. They got the 8 points to tie it up, and big kick by the Joseph kid for Minnesota.
Yeah, the Colts are just a ship floating at sea.
They look horrible against the Chargers. Against the Chargers defense that gives up points, and they could not score.
I think Thibodeau may have 6 sacks in this game.
Dude, and we talked about this on the last podcast. I love that kid. Absolutely love him. I think he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year in the next 2 or 3 years. Yeah. He's got a great motor. I love him.
Yeah, so I guess I'm just riding with the NFC East. So I'll give it the Giants -6, the Eagles -6.5.
I like the Giants too. I had them on my list. Yeah, I had them on my list as well. And I know we're laying a bunch of points, but these games make sense. The Giants make at home, Colts traveling.
Yeah.
to New Jersey. I like the Giants -6 in that game.
Yeah. They got 23-19, which is 4. I don't understand
that. The other game I looked at is another double-digit game, and only because, I mean, my God, you want to talk about the shit show that is the Denver Broncos?
Yeah, I looked at that too. It's just one of them deals that NFL. I mean, they'll NFL on betting.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. It's just a game I thought I'd mention. Kansas City still fighting for home field advantage. They'd have to have the Bills lose a game.
Yeah, I don't.
But they're gonna win the game. But did the Broncos just give up a 50 burger to the Rams?
You know what's a telltale sign with that? I mean, I think we kind of know what's going on in Denver. But they fired their head coach.
Yep.
At the first season, they didn't even give him a full year. They offered the interim job to the defensive coordinator. He said no.
So he knows. That's what. Yeah.
He said no.
I'm out.
So they went and fired the offensive line coach and another offensive coach. I don't know who's going to coach the team. The defensive coordinator's like, no, we're doing our job. Y'all leave us alone.
Yep.
Maybe Russ will cook up some plays for him.
I don't.
Apparently, he's done it all. What a shit show!
Yeah,
man.
it's just, I would love to just. I would love. I'm absolutely going to throw the Chiefs in a teaser though. You take them down to 6.5. I think they'll win by 10 for sure.
You know, when they made that trade, people went out there and got them some of that Broncos Super Bowl ticket money.
They should have called me. I've been watching Russell Wilson play.
Using that as rolling paper at this point. He's been like my Steelers ticket.
I've been watching him play in the NFC West for many, many years, and he's going to have a really good first half, and then he's going to fall off in the second half. But this year, it just was bad from the get-go.
All right, since we got everything going again, all right.
There we go. Hey, get back in there, Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know that I had just a dynamite play. I don't look. You want a dog? You say what? You're just laying all these points. You want a dog that I don't hate? That's the Panthers traveling to Tampa Bay. Carolina Panthers +3. They just destroyed Detroit at home. Well, the Carolina was at home, and the Buccaneers have not looked good. And the Panthers are still playing here. I mean, if they win this game, they're tied with the Buccaneers. I don't know what the tiebreakers come down to. And of course, they both have another game.
Yeah.
But the Panthers could position themselves to win that division.
Huh.
It's a huge game for both teams.
After firing their coach?
Yes, after firing they're 6-9.
He's at Nebraska now, and they're like, wait, I think we got the defected one. You mean they fired him?
Yeah. The Panthers are 6-9. They're going to the 7-8 Bucks.
Oh my God.
Oh boy, yeah. Phone calls, everything's going on. So yeah, Panthers +3. I don't think that's a terrible play. They've played really, really well the last 4 games. They lost one of them, but they've played really good, and they ran all over Detroit.
Well, I don't know. I don't. Does Miami? Is it Bridgewater? Is that who backs up Pineapple?
No. It was. But didn't he get hurt? And they had to go to another guy?
I don't know. What the fun? Find out who the backup for Tagovailoa is. I did it.
Yeah, I didn't have anything on that game with them playing the Patriots. That's a tough game to.
Might look at the under there.
And the Rams coming off a 50-point performance against the Broncos, and now they're going to San Diego to take on the Chargers. Chargers can get to 10-6 with a win. I don't know. That's a tough one. The one I'm looking forward to watching, I don't know about betting, the Bills and the Bengals square off Monday night in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm still looking at these exacta bets for the Super Bowl. There's some money to be made there.
I forgot all about that. You brought those up before.
Those numbers aren't.
There was one for the Bills and the 49ers that I really like.
The playoffs this year are going to be so even. It's going to be crazy.
They're going to be so much
from
fun.
top to bottom. I mean, if whoever makes it out of the AFC South or wherever the Buccaneers are, whatever.
I mean, as
That's a
bad
damn
as
shit
as
show
bad as
there.
I hate them, and as bad as they are in the playoffs, you still got to deal with the Cowboys being the number 5
That's the
seed
NFC. That's right.
in the NFC. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
I hate them, but they're not bad.
yeah. I mean, Prescott's gonna Prescott most of the times, but and I ain't touching that game on Thursday night. Cowboys -12. The Titans, you never know.
It would be the most Cowboy thing they would ever do.
To lose that
go
game
out there and just
Thursday night.
lose
Yeah,
outright.
absolutely. No doubt. Yes, I'm not touching that game. I don't have nothing to do with the Browns and the Washington Commanders. Though that's a game that we talked about before. Washington's coming off of a 49er loss. So
Yeah, I looked at it.
we know what that's been, but the Browns is Deshaun Watson's not
I don't trust it.
done well, and they're going on the road. But the Washington, they're going with Carson Wentz. They're benching Heineke. But I mean, how can you bench a guy after going against the 49ers defense? I mean, that's what you're going up against right there.
I think this is kind of Rivera's just trying to tell what's his name? Kind of this last hurrah,
Yeah.
Bye.
This is it.
The Red Rocket. I don't really. Just my notes. I added the Luka Doncic performance last night.
My God, what a performance by Luka.
Yeah, 60 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Shout out to my mom and all her relatives out there. They love Luka, and boy, he put on a show last night.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Did you see what somebody asked me a question? It's like, I'm tired of shit. Like,
yeah, I bet.
He's like, I'm so tired.
And he had 5 fouls, so he was engaged the whole game.
Yeah, a 60-point triple-double. My God. Wasn't it like 20 rebounds or something? I mean,
it was 21 rebounds and 10 assists.
Yep. It's insane, man.
That's a big number.
You talking about basketball, though. I know a team that needs to get their shit together. If they don't get it together quick,
Beale Street Blue.
Man, it's not looking good there in Memphis. They can't figure out the rotation now that everybody's healthy. I think that's what he's struggling with. Jaren is more now up and down. He had that great run for like 10 games. He was playing the best basketball he's ever played, and now he's kind of reverted back to the Jaren we've seen before. Really inconsistent, up and down. And Bane doesn't have his legs under him right now, and they're playing him, which I understand. You got to play your guys, and if he's healthy, you play him. But he's not scoring. Dylan Brooks is still doing his thing. Shout out to Dylan for putting us in our place. We're not a big Dylan fan, but man, he's doing all the defense, and he's putting the ball in the basket. I mean, I can't.
He'll shoot you in a game, and he'll shoot you right on.
He absolutely will shoot you out of one. Jaws just got to get back to being Jaws, start taking over these games. That's all it comes down to. Jaws got to be the facilitator and the guy that goes and gets it done, and they got to get to back. I don't think they're playing happy and fun basketball because they don't look like they're having fun, and that's the thing. When they're having fun, even in a loss, when they're having fun, it's close, but they've been getting blown out lately.
Yeah, I got all the faith in the world in that leadership there.
Well, Taylor Jenkins can get them turned around. We've seen that. I mean, you go through lulls in the NBA basketball season. That's just what it is. But yeah, I hope
if you wanted to take the 49ers to win the Super Bowl over the Bills, it's 14-1.
I don't hate it.
It's 14-1.
I do not. I mean, that's Chris Berman's just smiling. He used to call Bills 49ers in the Super Bowl for so many years in a row, and it just never came to fruition. I bet right now he's like, really, the 1 year I don't call it, they're going to get there.
I don't know. There's some really good matchups in this Super Bowl. Then it's got some good odds.
I'm going to just tell you right now, guys, I love my Ole Miss Rebels. I absolutely, in every sport, we were there in Omaha, watched the national championship. We cried together, we hugged, we screamed, we had a lot of fun. We even watched the piss poor basketball team, even though it's because they wear the colors. I mean, they wear the colors, so we watch it. But nothing gets me in my emotions like the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, nothing. Paul can attest to that. He has seen it.
The kid comes out in it.
Yeah, right. It's like a little kid. It really is. And I don't apologize for it because it's a passion. I've loved it. And, man, when those playoffs start, you talk about nerves. The amount of alcohol consumed prior to the kick is not good. But I'm looking forward to it though. It ought to be fun. I love watching the AFC. They got a bunch of good teams over there. They should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just know one team better be firing the offensive coordinator here pretty soon.
Matt Canada he better get his walking papers. I mean, I'm with you, even though I'm not a Steelers fan. Because I have to watch them enough. Between you and my wife, I have to watch them plenty. Not have to. I mean, watch them on purpose, but it's. I don't know how the guy has a job. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know
either. So you got anything else? Any?
I got the Super Bowl odds pulled up. If you want to hear some, you got the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, no. Just I know nobody's gonna. It'll all already happen by the time you listen to this. But a couple of things in tonight's late bowl game between the Red Raiders and the Rebels. This ought to interest you, Paul.
Oh, yeah?
If Quinshon Judkins rushes for 141 yards tonight, he will break Herschel Walker's freshman rushing record.
Oh, yeah?
How awesome would that be? I mean, that would be cool for for the kid. I mean, for Ole Miss.
Yeah, let's get him loose.
3-star kid coming out of Alabama, left Alabama, goes to Mississippi, plays for the Ole Miss Rebels, and potentially could break the freshman rushing record. And if Zach Evans hits 110 yards tonight, he will break the 1,000-yard mark.
And 2,000-yard
they could have 2 1,000-yard rushers for the Rebels. So if you listen to this tomorrow, maybe that comes true. Maybe we have 300-something yards on the ground tonight for the Rebels, and that'd be a good, good movement into the next season. Just that's some good accomplishments there for those guys. So, let's talk about some Super Bowl odds and what we got coming up.
The odds-on favorite right now, the Bills, of course, they're plus 350, which is a little over at 3.5 to 1.
I don't know how you don't make them the odds on. With the Eagles, I mean, I don't know.
I don't envision them winning a Super Bowl. I don't care.
It's because they lost 4 in a row. It's hard to.
I don't care who's what and where and why it's going on. I don't see them winning a Super Bowl.
Oh, can I give you my one team to fade in the playoffs for sure?
Just pick on somebody else.
Who am I? I'm not picking on the Cowboys.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
It's the Vikings.
Oh,
they're not any good. I don't think they're that good.
Like primetime Cousins in the playoffs.
Dude, come on. We've seen him in primetime enough. We know what's going to happen there. Hell, I don't think they'll beat the Vikings this week, but they made the Packers a favorite, so I was hoping the Packers would be a dog there, but in Lambeau, I think the Packers take care of business here and sneak their way in the playoffs late. You don't want to see 49ers don't care. They beat the Packers I don't know how many years in a row for the last several years in the playoffs, but I don't trust the Vikings not one bit.
I don't envision the Bills. I don't envision the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. The Eagles, they've won it, but I can see them winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
49ers, I can see. God, they broke my heart. Winning.
Right.
Bengals, I don't see if the Bengals win a Super Bowl, the whole world may stop.
I would have been more on the Bengals bandwagon had they not had that weird game this past week against the Patriots. They should have put that game away.
Yeah.
I mean, they had that thing put away at halftime, and they barely covered. I mean, I gave you Bengals last week -3, and boy, it took all the luck in the world to get that to come through. But they did, but it took a lot.
The Cowboys at 11 to 1, they're not going to win the Super Bowl because they're going to have a 10-point lead in the playoff.
Yep.
And Dak Prescott and company go out there and throw a pick six, and they're going to turn around, and then they're going to go 3 and out, punt it, give up the fucking whatever, and they're going to lose the last minute, and then Cowboys will Cowboy.
I think they just put too much trust in Dak. You know who they should put more trust in? It's Tony Pollard. The kid can play.
I don't know why they're still
absolutely ball.
They could probably get maybe a 3rd-round pick or something for Zeke. Yeah. But anyways, that Cowboys will Cowboy. Vikings 22 to 1. You don't like them. Ravens 25 to 1. They bear watching.
Is Lamar coming back this year?
I think so. Buccaneers, they're not going to get there. Dolphins are scary at 40-1, but eventually they'll run into a juggernaut.
Yep.
I love seeing the Detroit Lions in the damn playoffs.
I just like to see them make the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, they've kind of won me over. I mean, I like Jared Goff. I mean, good for him getting traded away. The Rams said no. They bring in Stafford, and they won the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't. But Goff's kind of resurrected his career this year. Got a great receiver there in Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, he can really play. Jamal Williams has done really good. Yep. Boy, if they get that defense just a little better next year, they're going to be tough.
I saw somewhere where they got Aiden Hutchinson already, and I was looking through earlier this week, just looking through mock drafts, and I think I saw where they might end up with Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle from Georgia.
Okay, boy, that would look. Hey, and I got to make an apology right here. I think I done it last week or the week before. Aiden Hutchinson, I did not see it. I thought that he got drafted in his spot literally off the Ohio State game from last year. Yep. Remember, he had that big game where he just dominated Ohio State the whole game. Michigan won that game, but he's been really, really good. I mean, I guess I didn't watch enough Michigan games other than that outside of that game, and that's on me. But I didn't think the hype was. I didn't think the talent was as good as the hype. But he's played really, really well.
Yeah, they got on this one. I'm taking Brian Breesy, the defensive tackle from Clemson.
Okay,
so he's pretty good too. Yep. So they get him some help somewhere along that defensive line to help take pressure off of him.
That's right. Well, that's what makes Bosa so good at San Francisco. He's got dudes all along that defensive line. Yep. I mean, that just helps. You know, they don't double team him every time because they can't. They can't double team him and single cover everybody else because one of those other guys can come get you. So I like the Lions, man. I like them a lot. Speaking of draft picks, the one guy that I loved coming out last year was Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And boy, he's played well for the Jets this year. Yeah. And he's had a few rookie mistakes, but the kid can ball. You want to talk about resurrecting a career? Can we just speak on Geno Smith for a minute? How well he's done.
Yeah, career backup, going to the Pro Bowl.
I mean, right? Going to the Pro Bowl. Well done, Geno Smith.
Good for him. That just lets you know how much you should think of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, was it system?
Maybe Wilson was holding them back.
Could have been. I don't know.
All them Legion of Boom years, they could have had old Geno in there slinging it around for a little bit of money, and hell, they probably won a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
7, 8.
Well, they won the one, but yeah. I think I've blown my wad in the NFL. I don't know what else to talk about other than looking forward to the 49ers rolling into the playoffs. I mean, y'all are going to have to bear with me every episode if they keep winning.
Day 2. 49ers.
49ers talk here on the Poolside Bets.
I mean, it is what it is, man. We're in the dog days, man. It won't be long a horse racing to get kicked by. I mean, I know they're racing now, but we got to turn the leaf over and get that thing going.
That's right. We'll try to dive into some of that. Oaklawn's going to be going in January, and me and the wife I've already made the promise, so we're going to have to go. We're going to the Kentucky Derby this year. Maybe I can set up a camera and maybe take some equipment down with me and do a quick show while I'm down there at the Derby. Maybe I can talk Paul into going with me, and maybe we could do a show down there in the hotel room the day before the Derby. Do a little preview show of Derby Day. How much fun would that be? Set up right there in the hotel room, do a little preview show.
You got to take a picture of all the hats.
Yeah. Well, the day after I mentioned it, she's already been researching hats for the trip, and we're months away.
Some of them hats look like a good Bloody Mary. It's like it's got all the fruit and the vegetables and all that.
It's a whole meal right there in the hat. Yeah, absolutely.
That's funny. Congratulations to somebody we know locally, Terrence Metcalf, the coach at the Coleman Community College
absolutely.
Tigers out there.
Hey, good pull. I forgot all about that. Yeah, Terrence gets the job out there for Coleman Community College, head coach there. So I know you've reached out to him. I mean, we've got to get a little bigger probably before we get his attention, but maybe we could get him on the show one time.
We're doing the best we can.
Maybe we just go out there and knock on his door. I mean, we know where the college is. We can ride out there and say, hey, can we maybe get a word with the coach?
Yeah. I tell you what, this thing here ain't for it's growing slowly, but it's not for lack of effort. But anyway,
that's right. We hopefully we have something in the works coming up. We're not going to mention it on the show. Just we hope to maybe in the next couple of shows we'll have some big news to announce, and we'll try to make sure we do a really, really good show if that comes to fruition. But we got some things in the cooker, in the pressure cooker. Well, I don't know what.
Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah, we're trying. So anyway, Arkansas is beating Kansas 38-23, Paul. So
like it.
Looks like the Hogs are gonna get a Liberty Bowl win there. So I don't have much else.
Right.
I think we're gonna wrap it up there. So
Let's go get ready for them Rebels.
good luck this weekend. Enjoy the playoffs game. Enjoy your New Year's. Go out there, dance, party, do your thing, have a lot of fun. I'm going to be DJing this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. So, look, I want to say, hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And say right now, Happy New Year to everybody. And we will catch you next week on another edition of Cash and Tickets. For Paul, I'm Franklin. We'll see you next time.